It seems like Alejandro Garnacho is on his way to Chelsea. There's real interest, and Fabrizio Romano has pretty much confirmed it. Alright, Chelsea fans. I'm going to need you lot to really get involved in the comments and actually let me know what's going on here. Because Alejandro Garnacho is seeming like he is on his way to Chelsea. There are a few things that are slowing down him arriving, and there are a few things that could even potentially stop him from landing at Chelsea. But as things stands, it seems like he's a real option. He's really someone that could end up at Chelsea. Now, I want to say I kind of understand why Chelsea want him. Now, look, he's a natural left winger. You know, Chelsea don't really have too many of them at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the only natural left winger you guys have currently is Gittins. And obviously Gittins is going to have to adapt to the Premier League. Now, Alejandro Garnacho, yeah, I use the word Premier League proven very lightly. I use it very lightly. But he is a young left winger in the Premier League that's been playing for Manchester United, and for at least the last 2-3 seasons, he's had quite a big involvement in Manchester United's fortunes or lack of fortunes in English football. So, although I don't think that he is, the best option for any football club at that, but especially Chelsea, who are, going to be competing on all fronts. They've clearly built a squad to challenge for the Premier League. They've clearly built a squad to challenge for the Champions League, just come off the back of winning the Club World Cup. Some would argue that could be the boost that give for a lot of the players to actually believe that, we can actually compete in like the big cups now and get something done and achieve something. So at the moment at Chelsea, there's a real winner's mentality. I would say you just come off the back of the Conference Cup and the Club World Cup. There is a real winner's mentality. And from that aspect, signing Garnacho is strange because there's a real harmony at the moment inside of Chelsea. And let's be honest, over the last 3 or so years, Alejandro Garnacho, from the outside looking in, he seemed like someone who he cares more about himself than the collective. He's been him his agent's been moving mad on social media. He's done a few things that's like he's called out managers, like the harmony aspect, ego. It could have some negative kind of effects at Chelsea. But I'm not gonna lie to anybody. When Manchester United fans, they've always complained about this guy, said, he's not good enough, rah, he's so bad, all of that. I haven't always seen it that way. Like, to me, I just think he's that player that's like, I think he's really driven. I think he's got a very high view of himself. He puts massive pressure on himself. He thinks he's better than what he is. But most of the players in the world that, both past and present, that do the better things are the players that think really highly of themselves. I feel like you got to have that sort of certain level of confidence to then actually be able to do things on the pitch. And I just think he needs to improve on his final ball. I think everything else he's really good at, but I just think his final ball, his decision making, that is something that needs to improve. And to me, That's coaching. That's a coaching thing. Now, I think Maresca is a far better coach than Erik ten Hag. Far better coach. Far better coach. There's so many players that have improved under Enzo Maresca compared to Erik ten Hag when he was at Manchester United. I'm not going to talk about Amorim because Amorim was at Manchester United for that one season so far, and that last season was diabolical. Some would argue Erik ten Hag had already done the damage to the players that it would have been. It was tricky for Amorim to kind of bring them back around, but he's definitely a better coach than Erik ten Hag. So Alejandro Garnacho going into Chelsea's setup with the coaches that they have there and the ethos that they have there and the group that they have there, I think you'll see a better Alejandro Garnacho. It's just, for me, it's just the personality. Like, will it affect the dressing room? Will it affect the players there? He's going into a club where there's already, like, you've already got your big names, you know? You got your Caicedos, you got your Enzos, you got your Cole Palmers. Do you know what I mean? You got your Reece James. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that other than that, I think this will be a good deal for Chelsea because they need someone on the left. It's only Gittins. Don't get me wrong, João Pedro, he can play on the left, but then from what it looks like, he's probably going to be the starting striker, rotating with Liam Delap. But I can see a realm where sometimes you start Liam Delap and then João Pedro's on the left, and then someone could argue, why do you need Alejandro Garnacho? But you know, we'll see. But Fabrizio Romano is, I don't know, I feel like he's pushing this one because on the 3rd of August, you know, he came out and he said Alejandro Garnacho has given his total priority to Chelsea. Talks took place on player side. Cool. No negotiations yet with Manchester United as price will be key factor. Timing of the deal not expected to be imminent. Can take some time with Chelsea focused on outgoings plus Xavi. So now, this is where my confusion comes in again because you're going to bring in Xavi Simons. So, cool, maybe sometimes Xavi Simons may play in the 10. More often than not, you're probably going to play him on the left, no? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe on the right, like he can play in so many different positions, but now it's coming to the point where it's like, okay, it's getting a bit overloaded because I'm imagining Palmer will play on the right or the 10. You got Neto who'll play on the right. Estevao will play on the right. The right seeming pretty overloaded at the moment. So then, are you trying to create that same overload on the left? Gittins, Simons, Garnacho? It's a lot of options. To be fair, Chelsea are going to play a lot of games. So, hey, the more the merrier, right? I guess the more the merrier, right? But, yeah, I don't know. And then on top of everything else as well, like, Chelsea now need to go in for a centre-back. So that's something that could delay the deal even further. But then, I woke up this morning and I just saw Fabrizio Romano post a picture of Garnacho with like a meditation emoji, a blue circle, Argentina flag, and then hashtag CFC and the, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you trying to say? Like, are you trying to say that this is happening now? Chelsea fans, let me know what you thought when you saw this tweet. Like, because when I saw it, I was thinking, okay, sure, it's happening now, no? Like, why else would you tweet? Why else would you tweet this? Why else would you tweet this at 3 a.m. in the morning, UK time? Be it as it may, he's probably not in the UK. But why? Have you had a conversation with someone? Has someone shared something with you from the inside that you can't talk about, but you're alluding to something? Like, is that what's happened? Like, I don't know. It's weird to me. But hey, look, me as I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I like football, and me as a football fan, I can understand why Chelsea as an institution have interest, and I can understand why the coaches would want to hedge their bets on someone like Garnacho, because he does have a lot of room for development. But Chelsea fans, let me know what you think about this one. Let me know how you're feeling. And yeah, I mean, if you want, go and check out my other videos, man.